We're live.
We're live. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Wallet to Wealth Female Entrepreneur Series. I'm Brittany Hammond, and I am interviewing our hostess of the mostest today, Whitney Hammond. Woo, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
So, in support of Halton Women's Place, From Wallet to Wealth is a brand created to speak to women, to help, to mentor, educate, inspire ladies living and leading empowered lives. We have raised over $47,000 for Halton Women's Place at our annual speaker galas and have hosted several events to help ladies build their businesses. Our next workshop is just around the corner, July 22nd, and
My birthday.
and her birthday. And it is unlocking the extraordinary life by awakening the queen inside. So that's Thursday, July 22nd at 7 p.m. We will drop the link below to register. And they're going to be discussing the masculine and feminine energy with Christine Jewell. So join our squad. We are all about success and breaking barriers. Not only do we help women win, we also shine a spotlight every Monday on a female entrepreneur to help her own her future. So this little live was prompted by a post that Whitney had shared last week around why do we always worry about money? And most people who are saving actually have more money than they realize. And I had commented on the post, like, how do you know when enough is enough? So the first question I want to ask is, how do you find your amount of money that feels safe? And I know circumstances and values are going to factor into this. So Whitney, how do we find our enough is enough number?
Exactly. Well, isn't there a saying that you can never be too rich and you can never be too thin? So there is this feeling amongst all of us. It doesn't matter who we are, but it just feels like we don't have enough. We don't have enough. So you're right. The answer is different depending on who you are and your circumstances and your values. But certainly the issue is the same whether you have no savings or whether you have enormous savings, because we're always worried that is it going to run out. So first of all, I would say that the most important thing is to not compare yourself to others. Keeping up with the Joneses. So, so-and-so has this and so-and-so has that. So that's a normal way to feel. And I think what's most important to know is that even the wealthy fall in the trap of earning more money and spending more money, and they still never feel satisfied. So this is a common situation. So how I work is I work with a wealth trajectory tool. So I don't work with here you need to get to this dollar amount. And I've seen this. This is you need X amount of dollars, and it's not about that. It's about you need an income stream coming in. This is what we need. So anybody who's working with me, what I do is I build that trajectory for them, and it's it's awesome. Everyone that does it, they're like, oh my God, like it's just so clear now because they see the picture. Telling somebody that they need $500,000 or $2 million or whatever the number is doesn't mean anything, because if it's not extrapolated into here's what your income is going to look like for the rest of your life. So here you are, it doesn't matter how old you are, we're going to take you to your retirement age, show you that, and then show you your income flowing in for the rest of your life, and show you your estate. Once you see that, oh my God, the whole worry thing goes away, because now you have control. You can see that, oh, okay, if I keep going along this plan here, this is what I will be able to do. And then, of course, we dive deeper in people that are, let's say that they're struggling, would look at what their income is and what they're spending. So it's that cash flow analysis. Everybody seems to hate the word budget. If you want a budget, put it down below. I'll email you an awesome budget. And it's really important to work with that. So I've worked with a budget myself I'm 57 this month. I've been working with a budget since I was 19. I have them all. I've saved them all. This is back before we had computers. And it's really important to know what's coming in and what's going out so that you can have that extra money that you can put away that will be able to be your nest egg. And if you don't have a nest egg, you're just not going to attract money. It's going to be money in, money out, money, hand to mouth, and that sucks. So it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah. So to circle back just though on something you said, because I know we're, and Ashley Ann says hi, some of us might be self-employed here. So how can we really project our income when we're not really sure? Pandemics happen, we get sick.
Yeah. So, okay. Self-employed is a big one. So because we don't know what the guaranteed income is. So sorry, I've got the dog here in Sheila. So basically this is what I tell business owners is that it's always good to put your revenue into a separate pot. Okay. This goes into a different bank account and then you pay yourself an income every month or week, whatever it is that you need. This is what I do. Okay. I've been doing this for decades. So Sovereign Wealth Management earns this much money and Whitney Hammond gets this much money, and the extra money sits up in a different account. And I don't overspend that, but you know what? That turns out to be my investment portfolio money, buying real estate. I mean, there's all sorts of things that you can do. So it is true that business owners have ups and downs and feast and famine, and I'm no different from anybody else. And it's building that strategy of knowing that, okay, my business is going to earn this revenue. So let's just say you start out and your business makes a small amount of money, like 50,000 a year, and you're saying, well, I need 30,000 to live. Okay, fine. Then we're going to have 20,000 left over. And that's what you have to focus on, right? Is building the bank above your paycheck.
Yeah. And I just wrote this down, but it's probably pretty obvious, but understanding that the sales is not our profit. And so the money in our account, like it's not all for us. There's taxes, there's expenses, there's all those things. So
HST.
Yeah, that in my case.
Your VAT in Europe, like you, yes. So it's really important to divide that out into buckets. So, and I've written an article about that in the United Colors of Design. That was, I think, one of my first articles was about, the money comes in and then the amount, so make sure you're charging enough for your service. So for example, if your service is $1,000, but you've got to peel off 200 of that has to go to the government and another 150 has to go to your HST, we're down to $650. So charge accordingly and put the money in a separate account, right? You can set up different accounts online. So you've got an HST bucket and you've got a tax bucket, and I do that. So it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Patricia asks, what percentage do you recommend a biz owner put aside weekly or quarterly?
For savings, if it's from savings, what I would do is start with at least 10% and budget that in to the cost of your service. Please, people, stop doing things for $200. Jack up your price. Add $100 into your service, whatever it is that you're doing. Or I don't know your math. I need to know your math. So let's just 100. Take 100 from every sale and put it aside. If you do not take the chips off the table in your life, you will have nothing left in the end. Why work for nothing, right? And the thing is that being in business is about profit, right? So don't be afraid to ask for the sale. Don't be afraid to ask for the number. I don't, for me in my business, there's a cost to do business and there is a result. And I'm extremely result driven, and everyone that works with me knows my results. And every business owner that's watching this should be result driven with their client to make sure that they have received the service that you said you were going to provide. Build that business and take at least 10% and move that over. For taxes, Patricia, take 20. Take a 20% and put that in a separate bucket. So 20 goes for taxes, 10 goes for savings. And if you have HST, get that off the table right away and put that 13% in another account. If you have to pay for a couple bank accounts, get the cheapest ones, do them online, but do it this way. It works. Once you start with a pile, money starts coming. I'm telling you, it's guaranteed. If you start with a bucket, it will start to fill.
It's true. Yeah. And I would, as someone in Europe who pays more than 20% income tax, like it's 26 for me. So I automatically, like every sale I come in, I know 26% it's going to the government. So, okay. How can we break the cycle of the money frenzy, the money fear, like so that we're not spending more time worrying about money than we are actually like making it?
Exactly. And we all worry about this. So it's mindset. If you say in your mind, I am damn determined that I'm going to build myself a nest egg, a pot, a net worth, you will do it. But you have to be determined. So instead of being helter-skelter, I don't know what I'm going to do and who am I going to sell to and blah, blah, blah. If we go back to when I started in business, which was 37 years ago, I started in business, I said that I was going to build significant wealth. I was going to have a lot of money. So in the very beginning, when I started my very first business, I didn't know, who the customers were, the supplier, it's amazing what I did if you look back at what I did 37 years ago. But I'm telling you, if the why is big enough, the how will turn up. Okay. Guaranteed. So if you have a why big enough that I want to build independence, I want to build some wealth for myself, I want to build significant wealth, I want to be able to make a difference in this world and give back and be able to start a non-for-profit, or I want to be able to donate my money to animal rescue. If you start out with the why, this is why I want to do this, the how will show up. So let's just say you're working in a job and you have a salary, and your salary is just enough to cover all your expenses. And you're like, well, how am I going to get ahead with that? Exactly. How are you going to get ahead with that? And you can, because it has to start with a goal of like, I want to start a pot. I want to save $10,000 by the end of this year. I want to, save up money for a home. Oh, how can I buy a home today when they're all over $1 million? Well, guess what, folks? They're not going to stay at that. Nothing stays the same. Interest rates don't stay the same. Economy doesn't stay the same. So it starts with the energy in the mind. It starts in the belief that I am going to do this, because sometimes a side hustle comes along, and I know women, especially the ones in Wallet to Wealth, who have fabulous careers and they've got amazing businesses on the side. We're all buying stuff online today. We're all buying stuff from each other. But again, if you don't have in your mind why you want to do this, then no how is going to show up, right? So for me, my why was always that I wanted to build wealth, and it didn't work the way I wanted it to work with marriage. So the partnership didn't work for me. And so I decided to live my life on my own, which is fine. I'm not recommending this, but this is what worked for me. And I was able to develop significant and save significant amounts of wealth by having goals in my mind of what I wanted to do. And Brittany, you did ask me about a bucket, right? A safety bucket. And I'm not sure if this is your next question, but build yourself a safety bucket that makes you feel good. So be your own bank. Get a sum of money. Everyone's is going to be different, but focus on that goal of I'm going to put X amount of dollars into this pot and I'm not going to touch it. This is going to be my get out of jail free money. It's going to be my I need to sleep at night. I have one of these. I call it a bomb shelter. So my bomb shelter may be larger than other people's bomb shelter, but I created this bomb shelter. And how I did it was I literally worked my buns off to create the revenue to build the bomb shelter, so that I know that if everything goes crazy, real estate, stock market, banks, you name it, I literally have a get out of jail free nest egg that it's tucked away, and it compound interest.
This
grows.
This is super interesting. I know this is your interview, but I just wanted to add this because I am reading this really cool book. I know Teresa bought some copies. It's called Rich as Fuck, More Money Than You Know What to Do With. And one of the principles that she talks about is knowing your energetic minimum. So I've actually been intuitively, me and Chanel, my sister, have been doing this intuitively since we could make money. And it's setting your minimum to zero. So when I was in my early 20s, my energetic minimum was $5,000. My 5,000 meant zero. So that was my bomb shelter savings. See, we were doing this and we didn't even know we were doing it. But it's interesting to look at, like, then once you hit that number, then you start playing with the numbers and then you start saving more. And it's true, like the money attracts the money. So when I saved my first 10 grand, then I was able to save my second 10 grand. So anyways, I diverge.
Show that book again. No, put that up again. So it's called Rich as Fuck. And if you can put the link down below, because I mean, I really encourage women to get this into your mind. Like, really think about getting rich as fuck, because you can do it. Warren Buffett. Let's use Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's one of the wealthiest men in the world, top 10 wealthiest men in the world, right? Guess when he developed his wealth? After the age of 65. We all hear about Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken. He tried forever, and it was after the same thing. After 65, he creates this massive chain. Do not give up. Put it in your mind that I want to be rich as fuck. I want to be. So I'm not going to stop doing that. And while you're doing that, give some money away, because when you give it away, it comes back in spades.
Amazing. Okay, Patricia says, should the bomb shelter cover 6 months of expenses?
At least. Yeah. You build that sucker as big as you can. I mean, just keep throwing money into it, because when you have capital, opportunities arise. So all of a sudden, if you have a ton of money, I mean, here's a perfect example Britt didn't understand, is that I threw $2,000 into an energy investment for her, and bang, it goes to 2,500. So she's like, oh, is that how it works? Damn right, that's how it works. Because when you have money and you invest it, you make $500 while you're sleeping. I mean, imagine what you make when you have $1 million saved up, or $2 million saved up, or $3 million saved up. And this girl who wrote the book, Rich as Fuck, she's probably no different than any of us. It's not about having.
Yeah, she started off like very like lower middle class. Like her parents, like they didn't. I don't know what she talks about it in the book, but her company now, she does like $450,000 a month. Like, and she's investing in real estate. Like, but you kind of have to start with where you're at, and like for me at least, like I have to learn how to make money. That was my challenge. I always knew how to save it. I didn't know how to make it. Then you learn how to make it. Then you learn how to save it, and then you
learn how to invest it.
Yeah.
Then you learn how to invest it. And once it's invested, that's like, when you go to sleep at night and you're like, oh man, I'm making this much money. Or December 31st rolls around and you pop your eyes open January 1st and you say, oh, if I sleep the entire year, I'm going to make this much money because I put the wheels in motion to be rolling the cash in, to be having the things invested. So if you ask anybody who has developed significant wealth, they're all going to tell you the same story. I'm telling you because I work with these people. It was all hard work and putting a buck away at a time. I don't know anybody that pan for gold and hit, $10 million or $100 million of gold. If you're doing that, or if you buy a lottery ticket, good luck. But what you can do in the meantime is you can apply yourself and use your mind. Our minds are incredible, and we have, huge imagination. There's people that are constantly creating new ideas all the time, and it's those ideas that you can take them out to market and start working with them. And again, if you have the why, this is why I really want to do this, the how is going to show up. And
Yeah.
don't, who wants to keep pedaling so hard through their life trying to make ends meet when you can be real smart about it and say, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter. There's rich people that earn $40,000 a year. And you're like, how the hell did they do that? Well, they did it by putting a buck away at a time.
Mm.
And then opportunity shows up, and all of a sudden, you buy this and boom, it goes up to that. And then you get this and then it goes up to that. And before you know it, your investments are making you more than 40,000 a year on top of your $40,000 a year job. So you don't need an MBA. You don't need any special education. You just need it in your heart and your soul, your drive to get out of this spot that you're in. And we all have it. And I can tell you that I learned at some point in my life to stop being driven by fear. Like, I was so driven by fear that I was gonna get all of this stuff done so that I could keep all of this crap away from me. Keep myself safe, right? And then I had to turn that over to a different energy, where I was able to work from a heart-centered good place, instead of an angry I'll show you I can do this. And mine was driven from a male dominance. My dad told me I couldn't do that. And there's many of us that have been told that, whether they're male or female. We've been told, you can't do that. You need to go and work somewhere for 35 years and collect a pension. Well, good luck. I mean, that's great. Never going to get rich on that. And that's fine. If you want to live that way, do it. But if you take some of that money, you can turn it around and, buy beautiful cottages on the lake. How? Bunch of profit.
Yeah. Amazing. So wrapping up, and there are a lot of comments saying that I want to be rich AF. So
I love Michelle. Michelle, you're going to do that, and Alexis. Yep. It's the other thing too. I just want to share is that we've got some amazing main stage speakers for Wallet to Wealth, and one of the comments that are coming back from the females is that when we stop competing with each other, like stop it, and get the creative juices together and support each other to get rich as fuck. Buy your next property, from Michelle. Get your insurance from Alexis. These girls work hard. Start working with each other, and don't compete with each other. Work with each other, support each other, and shout it out from the rooftops that this is what you want to do. Stop playing small, right? Like, women want to, I can't say that because she'll think this, right? I want to be rich as fuck. So do it. Do it. We're behind you.
These are real bills in the bathtub. Like, they're not fake. They're real bills. Okay. So wrapping up, what was the last question? Okay. What is one wealth building tip that you can share?
Oh, okay. By buying an investment is one. So number one is get that little pot going. Okay. So that's the first tip. If you have no money today, go online. There's all sorts of discount crap out there. Get yourself set up, and I want you to put $25 away a month. Okay. This will change your life. Get this going. If you have some investments, do more. Work with somebody who will get you to the rich as fuck. Yeah. I only want clients that want to get rich as fuck. That's my job. It's easy to do.
You have, I know on Mondays available, you do complimentary calls helping people with their wealth trajectories. So we'll also pop that link in there. I think you only do one call a week on Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern. So
4 and 4:30. Yes.
4:30. So
yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming on to your show, the Female Entrepreneur Series.
Yeah. I encourage everybody to build that little nest egg. And, the old fashioned way works, because I know there's a lot of stuff today, Brett, like the millennials. And I think the millennials are an incredibly creative generation, and they are going to do very, very, very well. Their time is coming. But the getting rich quick schemes, I'm telling you, it's about sustainability. And the only way to sustain things is to put them aside and let them grow and be responsible with what you're doing. So, and don't over leverage yourself. Leveraging is a skill, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. So you need some advice around that. If anybody, and don't take advice from your friends. I'm sorry, I hear that all the time. My friend said, stop it. Just stop it.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. We'll check in with the comments later, and we'll leave all of the mentioned links. And don't forget, for those of you watching, July 22nd, 7 p.m. With Christine and Whitney, they're going to be co-hosting the workshop and talking about the feminine, the masculine, and it's going to be amazing.
And how you can really use that to your advantage, again, to build your business and to build your life, to build happiness. Yeah, can't wait. Okay, good.
All right. Bisous from Paris. Bye.
Bye-bye.